On social media, I see a lot of companies who are trying to use things like TikTok, Instagram Reels, or YouTube Shorts to help grow their business, which is exactly what we're about here at Social Update. We want to help you do that. But I also can see that they have trouble trying to hook their viewer in to watch their content. So I'm going to try to help you today to find the best hook that you can for your audience. Short form content moves very quickly. It was specifically created to allow people to consume a lot of content in a very short period of time. And because of that, there are two things. Number one is that you have to move just as quickly in your video. Number two is that people's attention spans are incredibly short. So you have to move and use your video in a reflection of that. People know that if you're not going to give them value, that with a single swipe, they will most likely find someone who will give them value. I would say, and not everyone will agree with this number, but I would say it's a pretty good estimate, that you have a single second, I do mean one single second to hook your viewer. That's not a lot of time. And if you don't, they will swipe away. What are some ways that you can engage your audience in that 1 second? The first one is that you can start an introduction into your topic and simply state what you're going to be talking about, if that is indeed what you're doing. I like this because it offers a lot of creativity in how you approach a subject or a topic, and you have a lot of creativity to get your audience engaged, and only your audience, because frankly, you don't want all these other people who might watch it kind of on accident, we'll say. The algorithm thought, oh, well, they like it. You're not trying to make them uninterested, but they're not your audience, and you shouldn't act like everybody is your audience, because they're not. Number two is you could just simply start with a story. Stories are always great because it can help people relate to something that you've gone through. They can understand situations, or they can relate to you because they've gone through it themselves. Number three is you could state a problem and then say, okay, now here's how we are going to solve this problem, and just make that, if that is your topic, then stating the problem and then beginning to talk about the solution is incredibly powerful, because people will see the problem, and if you've explained it right, people will actually be like, oh, man, there really is a problem. Especially if you can show them that they have a problem and that your product, whatever it may be, is a solution, and that you're the only one who can do this solution correctly or even at all. People will be likely to consider your company. Asking questions can also be incredibly powerful because, number one, it encourages audience participation more so than a lot of other types of engagement or hooks, because it gets them thinking, well, what is the answer? What is the solution to said problem, if that's how you stated this problem? Or it could be a situational type of question. What would you do if you were fill in the blank? Because then they start saying, what would I do if I was in this situation and I had to get out of it? Or how would I deal with it? Or how would I react in such a situation? The basic principle, frankly, for every kind of video that you are doing is you want to ask, how can I help you? The basic principle when filming any kind of video or making any kind of content is there are two things you need to keep in mind. The first one is that you are trying to give your consumer, your audience, value. You want to know how you can help them. The second thing is that you are, through a camera, making a public speech. You are public speaking, but you have a lot more tries, and it's a lot more, we'll say, graceful, because you can edit it to do whatever it is that you want to do. Remember that with TikToks or anything like that, that people have very short attention spans, and your content should reflect that, especially when trying to get them engaged. So thank you so much for watching, and down in the comments, I want you to tell me what was the absolute best, I mean the best, the one that made you want to stay for the entire video, the best opening line for a video that you've ever heard.